There it is, the Theatre of Dreams. So for anyone that knows me, they're probably wondering what on earth I'm doing here. Well, I'm not here as a Manchester United supporter, I'm here as a football fan. And no one that can say they love football would come to England and not visit the home of one of the greatest clubs in world football, Manchester United. I can't believe I'm actually, shall I say, revering their name, but respect where respect is due, even though I'm a die-hard Red. Let's have a look around the ground, shall we? The United Trinity, George Best, Dennis Law and Bobby Charlton stand proudly at the entrance facing the stadium. In fact, facing Sir Matt Busby over there on the precipice of the stadium. How fitting is that? Let's take a walk around and check out the rest of the stadium as we go round the grounds at Old Trafford. In underneath the Sir Alex Ferguson stand now, as we make our way around the ground. There's the Manchester Suite VIP. I'm not sure I'd be welcomed into that room, especially as a supporter of this club's most bitter arch rivals, the mighty Reds of Liverpool, but also because I'm just a drop-in. Ticketing and membership services building. As we continue to walk around the Sir Alex Ferguson stand and enter the Stretford End. All of these names and locations to date have just been, I guess, bits of information I've heard on the TV screen. It's quite surreal to actually be here and to be walking around these grounds. Even though this one happens to be Old Trafford, I swore blind I wouldn't come and visit this ground, but I'm here anyway. And I think there's an element of respect that even the most die-hard Liverpool fan would put on Manchester United when you consider this club's achievements, especially in the last 30 years of the Premier League. I believe 13 Premier Leagues under Sir Alex Ferguson, and I guess since that time have been much like the end of many a great era. They've been undergoing a bit of a rebuild, recalibration, so to speak. I mean, after all, this club was, at least for a period of 26 or so years, all about Sir Alex Ferguson, and his legacy is something even the greatest of football clubs in the world would have trouble overcoming, or at least emerging from, especially after such a dominant period. Now, we're entering the Munich Tunnel here, which no doubt has significance and would be connected to the disaster that occurred on the 6th of February 1958 when a plane carrying the Manchester United team came down on takeoff and resulted in the death of, I think, around 10 or 11 of the squad. The squad that included Sir Bobby Charlton, the Sir Bobby Charlton that went on to captain Manchester United, play in the victorious England World Cup team of 1966, and captain Manchester United to the 1968 European Cup that George Best also played in. Now, from memory, I think the scoreline there would have been something like 4-1, and they would have been, or they played Benfica, I'm pretty sure. So let me just show you something here. This is the plaque that's dedicated to the Munich air disaster, and I've no doubt a flame, an eternal flame that goes with it. Actually, this plaque commemorates the what would be the 50th anniversary in 2008 of the disaster. There you have it, on the 6th of February 2008. Now, one of the most famous landmarks of Old Trafford, as we emerge from behind now the Sir Bobby Charlton stand, is a clock. And that clock, if I'm not mistaken, would be located somewhere around this part of the stadium. The clock signifies the date and time of the air disaster in 1958 that claimed the lives of all of those players. It's a sad and tragic story, and one, I guess, that pretty much epitomizes the toughness, the grit, the determination of the city, of the club to come back from. Shortly after the disaster, they managed to field a full team. And once again, from memory, my Manchester United that good, but they managed to actually win their first game back with a makeshift team of players. So, Liverpool fan or not, there's some respect that needs to be put on Manchester United, regardless. Quite aside from the fact that there was always one or two Reds that I sneakingly admired. Roy Keane was one, and Paul Scholesy. That goal he scored against Aston Villa in 2006, that insane volley from about 35 yards, is up there with my favourite goals of all time. No doubt, and no second or no prizes for guessing what my favourite Premier League goals would be of all time. But that one comes close, certainly does. So there you have it. I walk around the grounds of Old Trafford. There's the statue of Sir Matt Busby, and we're back to where we started from, at the United Trinity. George Best, Denis Law and Bobby Charlton. Cheers.